I'm Laura, and welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive intuitive insights from the tarot to your burning questions about business, career, entrepreneurship, creativity, spirituality, and more. Would you like to learn how to live more youthfully now and for the rest of your life? Well, that's what we're going to find out from the tarot today. And once again, I've chosen a card. Today I chose the Sun card, the major arcana, the Sun card, to represent this question. This is called the Significator card. Represents the question we have in hand, and the reason I chose the Sun card, which I'll put right back in the deck when I start shuffling, is because it truly represents that inner child, that youthful zeal. Look at that young boy, how his arms are open to life. He's fully embracing life. He's carefree, he's nude, suggesting total openness. And he has this sash, kind of the sash that's blowing in the wind, and the sun is right behind him, that radiant, warm sun. There's sunflowers back of the wall, and it's suggesting that just complete openness to life and inner zeal and inner joy that youthfulness represents. And no matter what age you are chronologically, you don't have to lose that attitude. So the focus, now I'm going to put that card back into the deck, so we'll be shuffling. But the question is, how can you live youthfully now and for the rest of your life and not take on the mindset that, oh, I'm getting too old mindset? I mean, you have to be realistic, but if you assume this eternally youthful mindset, I think, then you will just act younger, you'll feel younger, and you will enjoy life more no matter what your age. And to that point, I finally found this book, because I did talk about this topic of, you're never too old to start something, particular passion, to pursue particular passion. The book I was looking for is called Live Youthfully Now by Russell A. Kemp. Now, this is a spiritual book. It's from, I think it's the Unity Publications, Unity, that's out in Missouri, Unity Village. That happens to be the particular denomination I follow. But what I love about this book is it has example upon example of people who did not accept their age. In other words, they didn't, just because they turned 70 or just because they turned 80, they didn't start limiting themselves in any way. And it brings back to mind the person, Jack LaLanne, who was who was a physical fitness enthusiast for many years. I think he died in the early 2000s at the age of 93 or 94. But he was known for swimming, long lengths, like dragging weights, while he was swimming. He stayed active, to my knowledge, to the very end of his life. He just kept on going, blazing a trail in the fitness industry. He was one of the first, I think, well-known fitness enthusiasts and fitness people who was well-known for the fitness field. Live Youthfully Now. I will provide that information in the show notes. I will now start shuffling the cards, and again, we're going to think about how can you live youthfully now and for the rest of your life. And I will be thinking about this, what do you need, what insights, what mindset do you need to take, assume, that's it for the mindset, and what actions. Some are self-evident, of course. You just don't lie around all day. I mean, you've got to be active. We all know that. We've heard it time after time. And then finally would be the outcome. If you take this mindset, what's likely to happen? Now, of course, most people know they're supposed to exercise, they're supposed to eat right. But one thing I think they're not aware of is just, how do you best say it? Not embracing certain assumptions. Assume nothing. Not embracing the assumption that you get to a certain age, it means a certain thing. Oh, you're 50 years old, X, Y, Z. Or when I turned 30 years old, which was many years ago, decades ago, one of my best friends gave me this book, and it was about turning 30, and it had all this gloom and doom items in that book. I could not believe it. I read maybe, a few chapters. I said, this is enough for me. I'm not going to embrace or take on this negativity, that all these things, because I'm turning 30, which is really young in my mind these days, that, you know, this is going to XYZ is going to happen because you're a certain age. Now, granted, you know, biological changes do happen. Women go through menopause, men go through various things. I mean, you're not going to be, for the most part, capable of having a baby when you're 65 years old. Although there are a few rare exceptions, but for the most part, that's not going to happen. But I think what the most important thing is just not to take on limiting beliefs. This, because you're a certain age, you can't do something, you can't start this, or you can't do that, or that you should start limiting your activity. Yes, you have to be careful. Yes, more maintenance is required when you're older. But as the years go by, as you grow in years, as my spiritual coach, who I always refer to, Carol DeRay, calls it. I love that, saying growing in years, not growing old. Just, that's what for me is the most important thing in this book underscores, is about kind of that mindset. Just don't buy into this, I'm such and such age and I can't do this anymore. All right, let's shuffle. I'm almost ready here, and I think I've got, so the mindset, the action, and how this is going to enhance your life. What's the outcome? Let's see, the first card, a mindset. Now this is interesting, the Eight of Cups reversed. Now the Eight of Cups, the cups in general, relate to emotions, feelings, something that's coming from the heart. It's especially that feelings and emotions issue. And eight is the card of power. And what we have here in this particular image when it's upright is we see this man in a red robe and red boots who looks like he's off on some kind of quest, or he's leaving a situation. We don't know whether it's temporary or permanent, but I think it is, at least to me, it often appears like it's just a temporary moving away, because I feel he's on a quest for something missing. And also suggests to me tapping into intuition. The moon represents intuition. We've got a lot of water here also reflecting intuition. But given that we asked the question, you know, what kind of mindset should you adapt or adopt, and that this is reversed, I feel what's coming right to my intuition right now is that drop the feeling, because we're talking about cups, feeling. Drop the feeling that you're missing something, that if you've lost something. Just release that feeling, because that's what we can often have. You know, especially, you know, women as they grow in years will often feel that they've lost. You know, especially on a more superficial level, but they're losing their looks, they're losing their beauty because of the age. And what this is suggesting, because it's reversed, the mindset is that just drop that feeling that you're losing something, drop the feeling that you're losing your vitality, etc. Just stop associating loss with moving ahead in years. So I think that's a key mindset to adopt, to live youthfully now and for the rest of your life, is to discard that sensation and that feeling, especially that feeling in the heart, that you're losing something. I think that's vital. Now, maybe contrary to what people say is logical thinking and common sense, but I don't think so. Just stop yourself at that loss. You know, there are things that you are gaining as well. So that's the first point the tarot is giving us today, I feel, is saying, drop the sense of that you feel like you've lost something, you have to go find it again. No. Now, action, suggested action to take. The King of Cups. Wow, another card related to bringing in the cups, presenting the cups, and that sense of feelings and emotions. Now, what do we see when we look at the King and the King of Cups and the suggested action? Well, the King of Cups, for me, for many readings, he represents Atticus Finch in the movie To Kill a Mockingbird, because he's this very authoritative, solid man, masculine energy that's calm but powerful, and it's able to withstand turbulence and is able to prevail. In this image, he's holding both his chalice and this kind of little scepter looking thing calmly. And the waters are just, bouncing back and forth. Behind him, the waves, you've got these rapid waves and the fish jumping out and the boat kind of barreling up and down with the waves. It suggests to me the action to take, also, well, I guess related to action and mindset, but the action to take is to assume, well, especially as you grow in years, embrace your authority, embrace your knowledge, embrace your wisdom that you have been cultivating over the years, and just stay with it. Just stand firm in it, stand strong in it, embrace it. And also this will allow you to withstand any turbulence and the ups and downs of life, and as life continues as the years go on. Assume that persona of the king, someone who's authoritative, living youthfully. That doesn't mean you're a wise old man in terms of any old person, a wise old person, but you really do have an expertise that allow you to prevail in life and to be able to live youthfully now and eternally by doing so. Just embrace your expertise, embrace your skills and talents, and that's how you just stay on top of things and stay strong and firm. And should you do so, assuming you do this, what's the likely outcome? Oh wow, these cards are really coming, these readings are coming out, the cards are coming out so strongly today. It's the Three of Cups. Wow, this is all related. All these cards are cup cards relating to feeling. So it really is about feeling, tapping into that feeling nature. And this is one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck because it shows celebration, shows having a good time, hanging out with friends. But since this card represented, this card represented the position of what's the likely outcome if you act like the king, embrace the King of Cups persona and way of being, that you are going to enjoy your life throughout your life till the end of your life, and you're going to be celebrating and feeling like you have just lived fully by just releasing any association and identification with growing old, quote unquote, in the traditional way. That no matter what's going on, you can celebrate life at every moment. So in conclusion, we can see that this reading has been definitely, it's all related to how you feel about, or how you approach your life from a feeling perspective, from your heart. And that is one of the core foundations for living youthfully now and for the rest of your life. To embrace these ideas, to embrace these feelings, especially from the heart. It's so important. I will put the information about the book in the notes, and also, kind of as a fun song, I will include the link to the song Forever Young that came out a number of years ago as a way of amplifying today's lesson. I hope you found this reading helpful. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I will also include a link to my website, and on my website you can download, you can enter your name and email, and you can have access to a free tarot guided reading that will allow you to overcome a certain block if you're stuck in an area. Until next time, illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot.